Do you ever wonder what the interior wood in a 1930 Ford Model A town sedan looked like? And more importantly, how to restore it? Stay tuned. I've got some information for you. This car is 95 years old, and the wood is in relatively great shape for being 95 years old, and I think most of that has to do with the fact that here in Grand Junction, we are in the high desert, and the low humidity year-round keeps the moisture out of the interior. Not to say that there's no rot, there is. Some of it I've had to replace. But for the most part, it's in pretty good shape. And I really didn't want to spend almost $2,000 to replace all of the wood because, quite frankly, it really doesn't need it. And in a couple videos ago, you saw that I sandblasted all the interior, including the wood, to get as much of the rot out as I could. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a section at a time, like the corner, the quarter panel, or the back, whatever, the top. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to secure the wood. I'm going to remove anything that's broken out of it, but secure it with screws and, countersink all those. Got to keep in the back of your mind that new upholstery is going in here. So I've got to make sure that it's not going to interfere with the installation somewhere, down the road after the body's been painted. So I'm going to add screws to those pieces that are broken or split apart that I can put back together. After that, I've got material epoxy that I'm going to seal each piece of wood individually. Unfortunately, I can't get on the back side, which is facing the metal, but I can get 3 out of 4, and that's not too bad. Then I'm going to use epoxy putty on anywhere that's got a major crack or a hole or something that I can sand and make look new, and that staples or the small nails that are used for upholstery will be able to adhere to. And then finally, I'm going to come back through and paint flat Rust-Oleum flat black paint on it, and that'll give one more layer of sealing. So let's get into the wood right now. Really, the only pieces that were bad were the 6 bows across the top, and then the rail pieces here, which are here. This is the new one. These are from Classic Wood Products in North Carolina. This is white ash, and it really, really looks nice. It looks like they did a really good job matching it up to the original. And here's a couple of the bows that go on in across the top. Of course, there's 6 of these. And so I'm going to seal these up, obviously, with epoxy before I put them in. But this is really the only wood that I'm going to replace. Everything else, the rail on the driver's side or the passenger side doesn't look bad. There's a little bit of putty work that I need to do, but this, here was the original, and it rotted out pretty well. This whole thing up here, and obviously it's from water intrusion getting in from the top. So once this thing gets on here, and we've got the chicken wire on and the top and everything else, it'll be sealed up with silicone along that leading edge. So that's the only wood that I'm going to replace in this. Everything else is to restore it. So the next step in this process is to paint all the wood black, and I'm going to paint the body on the inside black as well. It's all flat black Rust-Oleum. And I know it's probably a little bit of overkill because it's going to get the insulation put in it, and then the interior, so you'll never see any of this wood. But yeah, it's overkill, but I'm doing it anyway. Anyway, this is really turning out nice using this material right here, this Wood Restore. This is a single part, and it gets hard as a rock. And I can tell you there's not going to be any water penetrating through this stuff for a long time, maybe 50 years. I don't know, hopefully all this stuff will last another 95 years. But it looks really good. It looks really sealed up. All of these pieces, the ends, the bottom, and I'm going to do the same thing to the wood that's in the body next. So we're looking pretty good here. So I'll get this all painted up. I'm going to just put one coat on here. This, overkill for sure, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, so here's our header piece that's all done. It's been sealed, glued and sealed, and epoxy putty put on top and on the sides and flat back. The top bows are all done. They had numbers on them depicting where they go in order on the top, so I thought I'd better put tags on them before I paint over that. The body rail and the top rail are all done. They're in pieces that go together. So all of this stuff is ready to go. So now all we got to do is paint the top rail and the body rail on the passenger side as well as the rear, and then these will all be ready to put in. So let's take care of that next. I'm almost done with the top. The front header is in, back in, and the cover and the visor, they're all attached and looking good. The rear from about here back is all sealed. And now I'm working on this edge here where the rain gutter, or the drip rail, if you want to call it that, is going to go. So I've taken this off up until this point. I've taken out all of the nails that were here. This was replaced somewhere down or in the past. It doesn't look like the original wood. So, and I say that because there were two different pieces up here, and I don't think that's the way it came, and they're two different colors. So I'm thinking that somebody replaced this not too long ago, or who knows how many years ago. And it's looking pretty good. The other side, however, had to be replaced. But this side, what's going to happen here is I've taken my wire wheel and I've gone and cleaned all of the old rust and paint off of this thing. I took all the nails off here on the bottom, and then I injected and painted the sealer, the epoxy in here to seal up this wood. And I was able to get it up on top of this piece that goes here. Not only from this side, but from the inside as well. So it's really sealed up well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these clamps off. I'm going to pull it back a little bit. And I'm going to use this caulking material for waterproofing this a little bit more. I don't know if it'll work. It's maybe a little bit of overkill, but I'm thinking if I can get a little bit of material up underneath here before nailing this back on, it will be one more bit of sealant, and maybe this thing will last for another 95 years. I don't know. But what I did was I got this from Snyder's. I think all of the parts stores are carrying the drip rail, and it's two pieces. It's got the backing, and then this is the actual drip rail. But this piece gets screwed on right here, and then this drip rail gets pushed on to start at the top, and you clamp it around. And I'm going to have a whole nother video specifically devoted to drip rail and how to bend it. And that will be interesting. But what I did was I cut off a little sample, and I wanted to put it up here to make sure that where I'm nailing this back down, I'm getting it at the right height away from the top of the door. So this is where it's lined up. I've got just a little bit, maybe 1/8 of an inch on top of this, and right at the bottom here. So that's the way it's going to sit. And you can see here that this is the part that gets screwed into the wood, and I'm going to come back and do that. And then when it gets all sandblasted, this will get all roughed up, and then it'll be painted with the body. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And then I'm going to come back and seal it. I'm going to seal it and then nail it down and then come back and finish putting the bows in here. I've got both sides of the roof metal now tacked, nailed to the body wood that's right here. Everything has been cleaned out. It's smooth. It all looks really good. I've used my little sample here to make sure that it's going to fit just fine. And I think it's going to work. Although this bend right here is going to be a challenge. And what I'll do is once I get everything else done, I'll come back and do this drip edge last. And I'll probably put it as a separate video, the next video after this one, because I'm going to make a template and a jig to try to bend this without breaking it. It's going to be a challenge, but we're ready to go. It's smooth all the way up and down the track, and same way on the passenger side, so we're looking pretty good. So right now what I'm going to do is get inside the car and tack down the top to the top rail. Originally, I was going to replace just the rib rail, which is this piece up here at the top, and the top rail, which is this piece here on the driver's side. As it turns out, I ended up having to replace the passenger side top rail, ridge rail. This one's okay. The top rail's okay on this side. When I went to put it all back together and tried to nail down the metal roof to the rail, it just collapsed. It was designed right here, or had a split right here, and it just came down on itself. So there was no more arch to the actual piece. So had to order a new one. That took a long time, and finally got it all put back together. But I am just amazed at how much time that it's taken just to restore the body wood. Maybe I didn't think it'd be that big of a job, which I didn't, but it turned out to be a lot of time, that's for sure. Okay, so up next, we've got the firewall to replace, and we'll have a video on that. And then it's to the outside and doing the rain gutter. So that's going to be a very interesting project to be able to hopefully get this rain gutter all taken care of. So you're definitely going to want to subscribe to the channel to see what I do with trying to get a rain gutter put back on this car. And don't forget about modelatshirts.com. There's a number of cool things on that website. Thanks for watching.